How you going, guys? Welcome to another beer review video. Before you watch this beer review, I've done a little new intro video that I hope you guys enjoy, so check this out. Hi guys, welcome to Shui Brewing. Hope everyone's been staying safe. The world's a funny place at the moment with all the COVID virus and everything that's going around. So I hope everyone's staying safe and everyone's drinking good beers. All right, today I'm in the updated brew shed. So I've just added a couple of cupboards in. I've got some new leather couches that I'm sitting on at the moment. So I'm excited to show you guys what I've been up to. So I've got these new XPAs that I've been doing, so experimental series that I've been trying to put together. Funny story is I actually had my first experimental XPA and I did video it like my last video and I completely lost it, so bugger about that, but hey, we'll start again. So we'll start from XPA number 2 and number 3. I'm going to take you guys over now and show you the fridge just to show you the little bottles. So they're my little XPA experiments that I've been doing. So come and have a look. All right, so these are the red rockets. So I've got 2 bottles. One's a experimental XPA Kviek and experimental XPA West Coast, number 2 and 3. So they're only light. They're only 4%, but we'll get these out now and let's taste them up. Here they are here. So I've got the Kviek out now. So I've got the Kviek XPA and I've got the West Coast XPA. So as I just said before, you know, I've tried to use a different yeast into these. I don't know if you can see, but the color is quite different. I don't know how good that comes up on the camera, but looking at this, the Kviek seems to be a lot lighter, as where the West Coast seems to be a bit darker. I'll be honest, I have had a little taster of each of these, and I probably tasted them maybe a week into them being in the bottles. Not the best, but I'm hoping that they've come a bit better. I hope they've carbonated a little bit better. Another thing I probably haven't shown you guys is these Carbonation Caps that I got. So they are a Kegland brand, little carb cap. So you plug them onto the top of the bottle. I brewed them in the Coke bottles. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I poured them into these ones just to, you know, separate and get rid of some of the trub and whatnot and transferred them into these bottles. You'll probably notice too that this one is just the cap itself, as where this one I've put a tube on it just to get, you know, some of the CO2 inside the beer. So I'm just trying out with little, you know, different things and different parameters on each beer and how they're going to turn out. So hopefully we get some different results. All right, so we'll go. Oh, yep, she's definitely carbonated. Take that out. Doesn't appear very carbonated. Probably sanitize that, but that's okay. I'll end up drinking this tonight. Ooh, that down there. The West Coast. Ooh. So that's the West Coast one. Again, doesn't seem very carbonated. Wonder why. Alright, so that's the 2 beers there. Appearance wise to me, this one looks lighter. So this one's the Kviek. And this one looks slightly darker. although there isn't a lot in it. Like there's just a slight variance in the colors of those. Carbonation wise, they don't seem to be highly carbonated, which I was hoping to get a little bit more carbonation out of it. All right, just for the background, so I've just written some notes here. So these are two beers that I've produced out of one batch. I did a 4-litre batch. It was just a small little light one. I'm probably going to crank up the ABV on the next one just because I want some more punch out of it. But anyway, I've used 40 grams of carapils. I've used 70 grams of wheat and 800 grams of maris otter as the base malt. So that's to do 4 litres total, which has given me two 2-litre batches. I used Citra in the boil. I used Azaka as a Whirlpool addition, and then I did Azaka and Citra as a dry hop. So that's what they are. Yeah, so the main reason I did these is just so I could try and see, you know, different characteristics of the yeasts. I wanted to try and get a beer style that, you know, everyone enjoys, you know, something light, something sessionable, and then try different yeasts in it and just see how the yeasts give different characteristics. So we'll dive in first. So we'll go straight for the Kviek first. Or I hope I'm pronouncing it right, guys. Let me know if I'm not. But I've been calling it Kviek. So I don't know the exact strand of this Kviek yeast that I used. It was a White Labs yeast. If I recall it, I'll let you guys know. I'll comment that below just so you guys have got record of what I've used. Aroma wise, it's very it's almost like lychee and grape. Not a dark grape in a sense, just a very light, like a white grape or green grape, or even whatever you want to call it. But it smells very light. Not a lot of aroma, just very little bit. And we'll have a sniff of the West Coast at the same time. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do this. I wasn't sure to try and do this one first and then do this one, but we'll just do them as we go. We'll do them side by side. So this is the West Coast. Ooh. That's a lot more pronounced with the malt. The malt sticks out a lot more than that. I'm getting a hint of like passion fruit or something at the back there. Bit of mango even. This one seems to be bringing out a lot more aroma. All right, so back to the Kviek. Going to give it a taste. So first of all, before I give it a taste, there is a bit of carbonation in there. It is very light, but there is carbonation there. So it is bringing something through it. It's not a great deal of carbonation. So, but anyway, we'll give it a taste. Very smooth mouthfeel, but very wheaty. It's pulled a lot of wheat out in the yeast. And it's got just a hinty, what do you call it, like an alcoholic, phenolic bitiness at the back. It's not terrible. It's just the wheat is very pronounced. Not to mention too, this Kviek yeast, this stuff fermented out in 2 days solid. Like it was just in and done. Like I went away for a weekend. When I came home, it was done. So I went away Friday night, Saturday night, and it was done the Sunday morning. So it's pretty impressive how quick this yeast worked. Give this West Coast a go now. It's a lot smoother, and the wheat doesn't come out as much. That seems to bring forward the hops a bit more. Seems to be pulling forward a lot more bitterness as well. Hints of citrus, lots of malt, This one seemed to hold a lot of wheat up the front, and then the bitterness came at the end, as where this one pulls hoppiness and bitterness up the front, and then the maltiness at the backside. Both very interesting. That just shows how different you know, a beer can be made just from, you know, having the same base, having the same batch, but using two different yeasts. This one I got straight out of a packet. The yeast was, yeah, as I said before, White Labs Kviek yeast. It was a particular strain. I'm sorry guys, I can't remember it. But this one, it was a Mangroves Jacks packet that I used for a pale ale maybe a couple of months ago, and then I've reused it and kept it. So it's the second generation of yeast that I've used into this one. So maybe the characteristics of the yeast improved, maybe it strengthened up a bit better. I don't know, but they're both very dry in mouthfeel, and it does make you want to drink a lot more. They're quite good actually. I personally think the ABV is a bit low. I would have liked to increase the ABV. I'll probably drop the yeast, the wheat content down in the blend. I don't remember the percentage of wheat that I actually used. I could probably use a little bit more Marisota, and to be honest, doing maybe a smash, like a single malt and single hop beer on these and trying the yeast again, I think would be very interesting. Overall, if it's coming down to which beer I like better, I'll be honest, I like the West Coast style better. The Kviek is a new yeast for me. I've never used it before, but I'm not a fan of massive wheat beers, and that is just pulling wheat. It's pulling too much wheat through. It smells nice. But I'm just getting a lot of wheat in the mouth. So I'd like to do these again, which I will. They're only a small batch, so they're nice and easy to put together. But finally, before I go, I forgot to show you guys the little vessel that I was using. So all it was just a Coke bottle, and I drilled a hole in the top, and then that's just big enough to fit a bit of hose while it's got all the beer and the wort inside it. Ran a hose out into a jar that had all the sanitizer in it so that it could ferment. Treat it like an airlock, and then and once it was done, I just transferred it. Probably could have eliminated some of the oxygen, but once I put the carb cap on it, I purged it, let the CO2 out and the oxygen out, and then transferred it. So it fermented, it worked, it turned it into beer. So that was the main objective. But you know, we've got some improvements to make. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. You know, like and subscribe to the videos. Let me know if there's any tips or anything you have on, you know, any of these ferment caps. This seemed to carbonate a bit better than this one. However, this one seemed to taste better than that one. So, you know, this is the journey of homebrew. So cheers guys, and tune in next time. Thanks.